Ears here with Vapor Trail Archery. I'm going to show you how to install the Limb Driver Micro Elite today. Got a Hoyt bow here with a red Limb Driver Micro Elite, just so you can see it a little bit better. This is a micro adjust rest, so you have your micro adjust windage, micro adjust elevation. This can run off the top or the bottom limb, whichever you like. I'm going to install it off the bottom limb today just to show you a little bit different, something different than the Pro V. First, what you want to do is take it out of the package, use the riser bolt, mount that right onto your bow. Typically, I like to mount the rest about center so the launcher arm comes down just towards the back of the riser. What I mean by that is when this launcher arm comes down, it's right towards the back side of your shelf here. So right in this area here. You can run it further back if you like, you can run it further forward if you like, but I typically like to run it right there. As far as your level, you want to run that main bracket perfectly level across the center of the bow. Once you get it where you like it, go ahead and snug it up. Just like that. Next, we're going to set the windage. So you take your Allen wrench, the windage bolt is going to be right here on top. Just loosen that just a little bit. You only need to loosen that just a little bit so you can operate the micro adjust, which is this knob out here. As you turn this, your rest will move left and right. Just like that. So typically I will look at this and I will run the center of my string, again, right down the center of my grip or down the center of my riser, down the center of the groove of my cam to get that left and right set. Typically you want to run the fork of the launcher dead center in the string. So basically I'll just look right down the grip, right down the string. I'm going to run that string right through the center of that V. I'm running my windage, micro adjust left and right until I get it right where I want it. As soon as I get it there, it's going to stay there. It's always locked into place. So it's right where I want it, left and right. And I will take my windage lock bolt up here and snug that down. So next, I'm going to do the elevation. Elevation will be out here on the outside, same thing. Loosen the elevation bolt just a little bit, just enough to where that'll operate. Same thing, your micro adjust knob is going to be right up here on top. Just by turning that, you can run your height as high as you want it, low as you want it. There are two different mounting holes underneath there. So if you get high or low and you run to the end of your adjustment, you take that bolt all the way out, stick it into the other hole, and it'll be just fine. You should have plenty of elevation adjustment there. Same thing with the windage. I didn't mention that. The windage does have two holes on there too, so you can get plenty of adjustment left and right. Also, with the windage, there are another set of bolt holes on here, so you can actually run the whole launcher to the right one set of holes if you'd like to as well. So as far as your elevation, getting that set, I will typically take an arrow here, set it right up on the launcher. Now my D-loop is not locked into place yet. I've got it tied on. You can check out our other D-loop installation video on how to do that. So I can move this a little bit still. So what I will do is I will run my micro adjust elevation and move my D-loop until my arrow is perfectly level, running right through the burger hole here or slightly high on it. A lot of the newer bows like to tune just a little bit high, it seems, so don't be afraid to go a little bit higher if you want. Get that right to where you like it. So it looks very level. So your knocking point, your arrow runs perfectly level right across that launcher. Get it right where you want it. Again, you can let go. You don't have to hold it. It's going to stay right where it goes. Go ahead. Lock that. Now there is a small set screw here on the outside of the main bracket. That's a pointed set screw that allows you to tighten that down. It will dig into your riser just a little bit to give you a little bit more security as far as your rest moving if it cants a little bit. It's not absolutely imperative to use that. It is just a little bit more security. There are different mounting holes for it. You can move that set screw to anywhere you want depending on the style of your riser, just to be sure that it makes contact with the riser. Next, we're going to tie the activation cord on. I've already got my limb pad installed here. It's in the other video that we showed you as well. You can check that out in the limb pad installation. So that's installed about to where I want it. I will take my activation cord here. I've already got a bulb burned down on the end of it. I will take this and tie my D-loop cord right around here. I've showed you how to do that in another video. So go ahead and install that on there. Get her tightened down. Now again, this is off the bottom limb. The Pro V installation video I showed you off the top limb. This is going to be off the bottom limb. So, to operate it off the bottom limb, there are two arms to the stopper here. The one that goes out is for the top limb. The one that goes in is for the bottom limb. There's going to be a set screw that comes installed. It's always going to be installed on the longer arm or the upper arm, the one that goes to the top limb. So if you want to go off the bottom limb, all you do is take that set screw out of there and install it. I'll typically push on this just so I can get to this other side of the stopper fairly easily. And you will put that right into the other side of the stopper. Now, the other side of the cord here, sometimes just to get it to go through a little easier, I will take a lighter, get it kind of hot, and then kind of run my hand off the end of it real quick. And basically what that does is just kind of burns a little point onto it, makes it go through there a little bit easier. Now for the bottom limb, you're going to come up through the inside arm. So right through the hole here, come up into here, and then you can pull down with your tag end. Hold on to that. And tighten your set screw. And the rest is set up. That's all there is to it. Then you'll go into your tuning as far as if you like to paper tune, walk back tune, broadhead tune, anything like that. Now as far as on the shelf here, typically I like this launcher arm to lay nice and parallel to the main part of the rest, or pretty much perfectly flat. I do like them to stop about 1/8 to 1/16 above your shelf on a flat shelf. This is a Hoyt shelf here, so it's a little bit curved, but on a flat shelf I like them to stop about that 1/16 to 1/8 above the shelf, so it's not come down actually touching it. On a regular riser, you'll want to install the shelf pad, which is a little square pad, adhesive pad. That'll go right under the launcher arm, and so when your launcher arm comes down, it's actually contacting that rubber pad instead of contacting the shelf. So that's pretty much how you set that up. The activation cord here, as you can see, is not super tight. You need it only tight enough to hold that launcher in the down position. You don't want to sit there and wrench on it and really get it super tight. So as long as it holds that launcher to the down position, you're good to go. That's really all there is to the actual setup of it. You can get into adjusting your spring tension. The spring tension knob is out here on the outside of the rest. There's a little set screw here. You will loosen that just a hair and you can rotate the whole collar clockwise or counterclockwise. So if you go clockwise, that's going to loosen your spring tension. If you go counterclockwise, that's going to tighten it. Now it's sitting at about a 2 o'clock position here. So sitting about out here at this position. You don't want to go much past about 1 to about 4. So it doesn't take a lot to load that spring or loosen that spring, so you don't want to go a lot there. Typically, these are going to come set with the spring tension where they need to be. I wouldn't mess around with it a whole lot unless you're having a little bit of an issue getting specific aero tune, and then give me a call and I can kind of walk you through that on what I would do. So that's pretty much a quick version on setting up the micro lead. If you want to get into it a little bit more in depth, give me a call and we can go over it.